A weekend that began as a rainy, melancholy one in Rennes, France, continued on as an emotionally and physically tiring program-wide trip that happened to fall on Armistice Day. A long day of tours and discussion of World War One began its end as we drove up to Bois de Belleau, the location of the Battle of Belleau Woods, our final World War One memorial stop. The memorial was set to close in 10 minutes' time, so everyone had their fingers crossed that the grave site and battle site, as well as memorial, were already closed for the night and we could get back to Paris. Sure enough, the guards were still active. The rain continued on, so we zipped up our black raincoats, opened our umbrellas, and walked outside, tired eyed and irritated. However, as we walked through the American Memorial Site, we came to realize that it was a true symbol of home abroad. Though we were a group filled with international students, us Americans scanned the walls for fallen soldiers with the same last names as us, as well as soldiers from the same states and towns as us. We took photos of the bleak headstones that were arranged in such a beautiful way that your mind wandered away from the terrible tragedy that occurred in the very place our feet rested. In the memorial building, a tall man was in charge of lowering the American flag from the staff every night, walked in, and asked if we wanted to assist, American or not. Though others were shyer, I jumped on the opportunity nearly impulsively. It was more of a reflex than a decision for me. Folding the American flag was something I had never done before, but somewhere in me I knew that it was something I needed to do. I don't often get homesick, but in this very moment, the opportunity to rekindle with the place I call home was calling my name. A tear fell from my face, and a heightened level of gratitude for the night came upon me, followed by an intense feeling of guilt for ever wanting to stay seated in the coach bus 30 minutes prior. The ceremony was finished, and we walked outside slowly. No one spoke. However, what was once a rainy, seemingly depressing day filled with war stories and long bus rides ended with the most pristine, clear, and beautiful sunset. My abroad experience in Paris will always hold a place in my heart, but this little strip of America and the countryside of France allowed me to simply breathe for a minute. The bus ride that followed allowed for the ultimate reflection of the place that I was, the place that I had been living, and the places I had lived my whole life. Sometimes you have to step out of the context of America to reflect on your life back home.